once again, I'm going to go over my way that I starch fabrics. I could starch them this way as well for embroidery. This is specifically for quilting. This is my fabric that is called Elizabeth. I need to make 16 diamonds out of it. So I'm going to open it. And yeah, that's a lot of fabric. It's a kit, quilt kit. Has a lot of excess fabric, which I really love because then I take the time to store it well and use it as scraps. All right, this is my spray starch bottle that I made myself. It's an old Febreze bottle. It's full at the moment. I shake it to make sure it stays blended. This is my slurry. I take a container, like a ball jar or something, which I probably will be getting, and then I put a whole bunch of water-soluble stabilizer. Sometimes the film kind, and sometimes this papery kind. And I store it all in a container like this. And eventually I fill the container with water. And I shake and I make a slurry until it becomes starch. Then I pop this open and fill this. When I come to a project like this, which is Jane Austen's Coverlet quilt kit, she just had her a birthday, and these quilt kits became very popular. There's women all over the world that are working on these. I already have a buyer for mine who is a journalist, I believe, for the New York Times. So what I'm doing is I'm spraying the fabric where I'm going to cut triangles, and so that I don't usually put the starched portion of the fabric right next to the iron, I make a little sandwich and I press right through all the layers. Hi, hubby.
Hi.
And so then I take, and I use a hot iron, nice high quality quilting store gray cloth, printed beautiful. I believe the selvage even says Riley Blake design pattern Elizabeth on it. And out of this I'm going to make what it requested, which is 16 diamonds. So I just press, heat and press fabric that I want to use to cut out the diamonds. So they don't have diamonds, of course, they're going to be on a bias somehow, and we don't want them to shift. And personally, I often, in something in this case where the template is a diamond, Riley Blake, I mark it with a micron pen because I don't really want to take the chance of the Pigma micron pen. I don't want my template to shift. I could have, old-fashioned days before all these templates, I would have just measured the angle that they told me to do, and I would have cut the angle into strips and then subcut them. But I'm taking my time on this. If I get it done by the Delaware State Fair time to submit entries, I'm going to submit it there. It is a very meaningful project. So first I do that. I have this nice and pressed all the way to about here. I don't think I'm going to go beyond that, but if I do, I can come back. I take my wool cutting mat, lay it aside, so that air can circulate along the sides, and so it can dry and not get wet and so on. And I take my piece of fabric that I'm going to subcut into 16. And real important to me is my Omni Grip little ruler, which I absolutely love, which was a gift from my husband. I set it up along the seam and the length of the grain, just like sewing clothes, which is so important in much clothes construction, just as important in quilts, that you don't have a stretchy part of the fabric for a part they don't want you to have. So I take my micron, make sure I'm lined up. Just had bones removed from my hands in 2010 at the base of my thumbs, and they crushed my hand with a caster. For 10 years I had to wear a splint. No more splint. I get that started, and then I know the line I'm going to follow, and I use any ruler I have, but in this case it's a lovely small ruler that I have that I really love. And I'm going to mark at least mark the line. Then I can see on this fabric, I can put another, yeah, I don't want to get the salvage edge. Always make sure you don't use the salvage edge. It's a different fabric because first of all, it has little holes where it came off the loom, and it has a denser edge. So I'm going to go just past that, and I'm going to mark another one here, and since there's room, I'm going to mark 2, and then I marked one here, 1, 2, 3. I need 16. Each strip on most of the fabric so far has got me 4. We'll see if this does 4. I think it will. Again, I'm very careful, as you must be when you're quilting, to be precise. And there. And there. Now I notice it's off of my Fiskar cutting mat, so I shifted it over. Replace, make sure I get all 4 sides.